Have you ever had days where your energy feels misaligned? Like something inside you is off, yet you can't quite figure out what it is? Many people go through this without realizing they may be trapped in subtle behaviors that disrupt their spiritual flow. One of the most common yet least recognized obstacles is spiritual bypassing. This happens when someone uses spiritual concepts as a way to avoid facing difficult emotions, unresolved trauma, or inner wounds. Rather than healing, they cover their pain with spiritual phrases that provide temporary comfort but no real transformation. Imagine putting a tiny bandage over a deep wound. From the outside, everything appears fine, but underneath, the wound continues to ache. Spiritual bypassing functions in exactly the same way. People may repeat lines like, "Everything happens for a reason," "Just stay positive," or "It's all divine timing," not out of deep understanding, but as a way to escape fear, sadness, guilt, or emotional discomfort. This creates the illusion of peace, a polished outer shell covering an untouched emotional landscape. But genuine spiritual growth doesn't come from avoiding chaos within. It comes from walking into that chaos with honesty and courage. It means letting yourself feel the difficult emotions you've been trying to outrun, understanding their roots, and giving them space to breathe. Spiritual bypassing delays growth by preventing you from seeing your true self. Instead of learning the lessons embedded in painful experiences, people hide behind comforting spiritual phrases that keep them stuck. Real transformation is messy. It requires vulnerability. It requires acknowledging what hurts, not pretending the hurt doesn't exist. Spirituality is not meant to be a shield that protects us from discomfort. It's meant to be a guiding light, one that leads us through our shadows, not around them. When we stop bypassing our inner struggles and face them with authenticity, we unlock a deeper, more meaningful path to healing and self-awareness.
A second major obstacle to spiritual growth is developing a legalistic mindset. A rigid attachment to rules, rituals, and spiritual laws without heart, empathy, or understanding. With this mindset, spirituality becomes less of a journey and more of a checklist. Do this, don't do that. Follow this tradition, repeat this ritual. It creates the illusion of righteousness while disconnecting individuals from compassion, humanity, and inner transformation. A legalistic spirit can be subtle. Someone may believe they are doing spirituality correctly simply because they perform rituals perfectly or follow strict rules. But without intention, awareness, and compassion, these actions become hollow. They may follow every instruction accurately, yet their heart remains untouched. They focus on the performance, not the meaning. This mindset creates division. People who fall into it may begin judging others who do not follow the same rules. They may confuse strictness with wisdom, or correctness with spiritual depth. Instead of nurturing connection, they reinforce separation. Instead of cultivating understanding, they foster superiority. However, true spirituality is not about perfection. It's about transformation. It's not about memorizing rituals. It's about experiencing inner change. And it's certainly not about proving anything. It's about becoming more open, loving, and aware. When we release legalism, spirituality becomes lighter, richer, and more meaningful. It becomes a journey of the heart rather than a list of obligations. Rules and rituals can still hold value, but they become tools, not chains. They support growth rather than control it. Shifting from rigid rule-following to compassion-centered spirituality opens the door to deeper understanding. It acknowledges that every person walks a unique spiritual path. When we embrace flexibility, empathy, and openness, we rediscover the true purpose of spirituality: to connect, to evolve, and to awaken to the deeper layers of ourselves.
Materialistic distractions are one of the most powerful forces pulling people away from authentic spiritual development. In a world filled with constant noise, social media, status symbols, competition, and the endless pursuit of external success, it becomes incredibly easy to lose touch with the inner world. People begin to believe that happiness lies in acquiring more, achieving more, or being admired more. But material achievements, while valuable in daily life, often do little to nourish the soul. They may bring temporary satisfaction, but they rarely provide lasting inner peace. It's like drinking salt water. Not only does it fail to quench your thirst, it makes you even thirstier. When individuals become overly focused on possessions or external validation, they disconnect from their inner wisdom. Their sense of worth becomes tied to what they own or how others perceive them. This creates a cycle of desire, anxiety, and disappointment. No matter how much they achieve, something still feels empty. True spiritual growth requires the opposite direction, turning inward. It involves noticing the subtle, quiet feelings that arise within you. It means exploring your inner depths instead of distracting yourself with external pleasures. It requires stillness, reflection, and honesty. Materialistic distractions aren't inherently wrong. They only become harmful when they replace inner exploration. The moment a person begins valuing outer success more than inner clarity, the spiritual path becomes clouded. But by recognizing the impermanence of material possessions, individuals can free themselves from the chase. Mindfulness, gratitude, and inner awareness can help shift the focus from the external to the eternal.
Words are powerful. They carry energy, intention, and emotion. Careless speech, speaking impulsively, harshly, or without awareness, can disrupt both your internal peace and the harmony around you. Many people underestimate how deeply their words affect others, but even more importantly, how their words shape their own spiritual environment. Careless talk creates subtle negativity. It plants seeds of confusion, frustration, or conflict. Over time, these seeds grow into emotional heaviness that clouds spiritual clarity. When someone speaks without mindfulness, they are essentially letting their inner world spill out in a chaotic, unfiltered way. Another major obstacle to spiritual growth is neglecting spiritual practices. These practices, whether meditation, prayer, journaling, breathwork, or quiet reflection, are like daily nourishment for the soul. They help ground you, clear your mind, and reconnect you with your inner wisdom. But when they are ignored, the connection weakens. People often stop their spiritual practices when they feel busy, stressed, or distracted. Ironically, these are the moments when those practices are needed the most. When devotions are neglected, the spirit loses its anchor. Life becomes noisier, heavier, and more overwhelming. Careless talk and neglected spiritual practices often appear separately, but they are deeply connected. When someone stops grounding themselves spiritually, their emotions become reactive. And when they are reactive, their words become careless. Restoring spiritual balance begins with awareness. Awareness of what you say and awareness of how you show up for your inner self. Speaking thoughtfully, pausing before reacting, and returning to your spiritual practices create a powerful foundation. These actions nurture inner peace and rebuild your connection to the deeper parts of your being.
Closed-mindedness is a subtle trap that keeps people stuck in a narrow understanding of spirituality. When someone refuses to consider perspectives outside their own beliefs, they limit their potential for growth. It's like trying to understand a vast ocean while staring at a single drop of water. No matter how closely you study it, it will never show you the full picture. Spirituality is incredibly diverse. From ancient traditions to modern practices, every culture has its own wisdom. But when people cling tightly to only one viewpoint, they unintentionally shrink their spiritual world. Closed-mindedness creates walls that block learning, understanding, and expansion. Another large obstacle is ego-driven spirituality. This happens when people use their spiritual knowledge to elevate themselves above others. They may feel superior because they meditate more, read more spiritual books, or believe they've reached a higher level of consciousness. But spirituality is not a competition. The moment ego enters, the essence of spirituality is lost. The ego seeks validation. The spirit seeks truth. And truth can only be found in humility. Finally, excessive ritualism also disrupts authentic spiritual growth. Rituals can be beautiful and meaningful, but when they are repeated mechanically, without intention or awareness, they become empty. People may perform rituals flawlessly, yet feel no deeper connection within. It becomes a routine, not a spiritual experience. To grow spiritually, individuals must cultivate openness, humility, and mindful intention. Being willing to learn from others, acknowledging personal blind spots, and understanding the true meaning behind rituals transforms spirituality into a living, breathing experience. These qualities return the heart to the center of the journey.
Attachment to outcomes is a trap that brings unnecessary frustration to the spiritual path.
Many people expect their journey to unfold in a perfect, predictable way. They want clear signs, fast progress, or immediate transformation. But spirituality does not follow a straight line. It moves in cycles, waves, and unexpected lessons. When someone becomes too attached to specific results, whether it's healing, awakening, or peace, they create pressure that blocks natural growth. It's like planting a seed and demanding it grow exactly on your schedule. You can water it, nurture it, and provide the right environment, but you cannot control its timing. Spiritual growth works the same way. Unexpected challenges often contain the most profound lessons. But attachment blinds people to these lessons. When expectations are rigid, disappointment appears quickly. Flexibility and openness allow the journey to unfold organically. Another powerful trap is using spirituality as an escape from reality. When life becomes overwhelming, some people turn to spiritual practices to avoid responsibilities or difficult decisions. They may spend hours meditating or seeking guidance, but never take action in their real-life problems. Spirituality is not meant to replace life, it is meant to guide you through it. It should strengthen your ability to handle challenges, not help you run from them. When spirituality becomes a hiding place, individuals lose their grounding. They become disconnected from the world instead of integrated into it. True spirituality is practical. It's something you apply in everyday moments, conversations, choices, responsibilities, and relationships. It teaches resilience, awareness, and wisdom that can be used in real situations. Balancing spiritual insight with grounded action is essential. By addressing responsibilities, navigating challenges with awareness, and applying wisdom to daily life, individuals create genuine transformation. If you're still here, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, and share your thoughts. More meaningful content is coming, so stay tuned.